From the heartland of America, the most anticipated presidential debate in history. Let's get ready to rumble! Hey, how are you? I am your TruthSlinger tonight. My name is Tim. Welcome to the live stream pre-game show. Yeah, there we go. We are live streaming, at least to X we are. So it's great to see you here. We're really excited. And if you're joining us tonight, we're gonna do some stuff, man. We're gonna go over a little bit of pre-game stuff. Mostly this is just a test tube can chat. So that's going to be cool if that hopefully works. And hopefully we'll be broadcasting to Facebook, X, YouTube, and Rumble. Rumble doesn't play nice, unfortunately. With Restream, I think there's some libbies over at Restream. So yeah, anyway. But tonight we're just going to test the stream out. We're testing. Mama's not been on a microphone for a long time. Welcome, hippie chick.
Why, thank you, honey.
Yeah, it's good to have you here.
Thank you.
And so if you missed out on getting this really cool TruthSlinger merch, you really messed up, boy.
Yeah, it burns.
My handle broke off, and then I had to shut down my store, which I'm not quite sure even how to start back up, but I think I can figure it out. But it's very difficult, Printify and all that kind of stuff. But we had it at one time, and then I had no followers, but now I got some people who might buy some merch, but I'm going to wait a little longer till, I get real famous, and then people will want my merch. Probably by that time, I'll put different merch on the cups anyway. So I keep this for sentimental value. But anyway, yeah, tonight I thought we would do a little pregame. I thought I would try out a couple of jokes and go through some stuff, and then do some tail of the tape stuff. And then after that, we were going to watch and review CNN, their pregame analysis with Maggie Haberman. And I don't know how long this thing is. 10 minutes and 42 seconds. So we should probably be able to get through the whole thing. I don't know whether we can get through it without puking or vomiting, but, hey, we'll give it a try.
You talk a lot.
Shush. All right. So let's move on and go to our tale of the tape tonight, right? Brought to you by TruthSlinger Project, right? Here we go. This is very professional stuff. I'm very proud of it. I've been working on this thing all day. Haven't really accomplished a whole lot of work or anything. But the Passion Project got a lot of attention today. And so our tale of the tape today for the 2024 presidential debate, the first tale of the tape we've got is the record, right? We've got the record. Well, the first thing on the record is President of the United States. Well, it's a 1-1 tie right there. Now we have legitimate president. Yeah, Donald Trump was legitimate president. And right now we have an authoritarian fake who is definitely nowhere able to be put in by 81 million votes. I don't buy it. Nobody buys it. Nobody ever bought it, which is why we had January 6th, right? Donald Trump has 2 debates won. They've faced off twice, and I think clearly he's whipped Joe Biden's ass. But, hey, that's my opinion. What's yours? Do you think so?
Yes.
Yes, right? Which is clearly what he's probably going to do tonight. As far as the issues are concerned, yeah. Excuse me. Donald Trump, right on all the issues.
All of them.
Joe Biden, wrong. 2 thumbs down for both of us on all the issues.
Everyone.
Every single one of them. I mean,
all of them.
Can you tell me, one thing that's just going just brilliantly, right?
He even, the diabetes medication, he stopped what Trump was doing, and then he redid it.
Reinstated it, right, so that he could take credit for it. Man, the Democrats are all frauds, right? So let's move on to our next slide in the tail of the tape. That would be the overall health of the 2 candidates. Now we've got a 9 out of 10 rating, or a out of 10 rating system on the first one there. Cognitive. I think Donald Trump, we would say, generally speaking, 9 out of 10.
He's pretty with
He's
it.
pretty sharp. Every once in a while he does misspeak or, something comes out of his head that's a little bit silly. But, what are the ages of the candidates? I don't remember. I don't even have that in the slide. We're going to have a new slide tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Biden's 82,
Height,
and I think Donald Trump is 78. I don't know if we can find the weight. But, But yeah, at this point, speaking of cognitive, we're looking at, I think, a 0 out of 10 for our potato in chief, right? We definitely, we've been calling for a cognitive test. I don't know. Do you remember back when Donald Trump was president and the press room was constantly, immediately screaming that Donald Trump should take a cognitive test?
Oh, yeah.
So they gave him one. He took it, right? Because, of course, that's what Trump does. He's open. He's out there. He took the test.
Yep.
He figured it all out. And then they went on CNN or MSNBC and they were making fun of him. Oh, it was, must have been CNN because it was Cuomo.
Yeah. And
Cuomo and Lemon. And I believe it was Don Lemon was the moron that got the test wrong. He thought the rhinoceros was a hippopotamus or some crap. So they're making fun of Donald Trump and they couldn't even, pass the test. So I'm, 0 out of 10 on that. Now, Jen and I, the hippie chick over here, we had an argument about agility, and in parentheses I put stairs, but on overall agility, I was going to put him down at Donald Trump down at a 7 of 10 because you remember he was walking off that stage one time and he held on to the general's arm and he was kind of baby stepping
he said it was raining.
And one time he was drinking water, he didn't want to spill it on his tie, things like that. Okay. So I said okay 7, but she loves Donald Trump, so. Yep. We upgraded that to an 8. Let us know your opinion in the comments or whatever. If anybody's watching and wants to comment, let me know what you think of all this tale of the tape because we made this stuff up on the fly. We think the agility is absolutely a 1 out of 10. Joe Biden falls upstairs. He falls downstairs. He could barely. Did you see him the other day when he could barely shuffle over to the Air Force One? Oh my God.
So embarrassing.
Oh, absolute terribly. Yeah. So agility, no, not so good. Finding exits, Donald Trump, 100%. I don't believe that Donald Trump has ever not known how to exit the stage.
No.
He doesn't want to exit the stage. That's a different story, right? But he's like me. He doesn't want to, he just, But he always finds the door, right? And we figured at about 28% for Joe Biden, right? When he absolutely doesn't want to talk to the press after making a 3-sentence statement, which has to be corrected 4 times in the following transcript because he said 4 things wrong, and he turns around and he just heads for the door, makes a beeline for that door. Yeah. He does that about 28% of the time. The rest of the time, he can't even find his way off a stage. He can't find where he's going. He doesn't know where he's supposed to be talking to. He don't know where he's supposed to be pointing for the photograph. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the meme of the he's trying to walk up to the front of the White House, and they have the eagle has landed, blah 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 blah. And, he's supposed to hit his mark in 3,
Secret Service,
2, 1. Yeah, Secret Service in the air. It's hilarious. Look it up if you've never seen it. It's really funny. So anyway, yes. Able to complete or form sentences. Make complete sentences. Donald Trump, yes, absolutely. Biden, no, absolutely not. Not so much. Drugs, now this is a big one. This has been a big issue, right? This is an issue of contention here. Ronnie Jackson been asking for those drug tests, right? Yeah. And we know that Donald Trump, aside from what we'll see a little bit later, he does know drugs. He doesn't drink. He doesn't drink. He doesn't do drugs. He doesn't do anything. He's just naturally Donald Trump, right? Joe Biden, on the other hand, well, duh. Okay, clearly we all know he's on performance-enhancing drugs. Yep. And he refused a drug test, didn't he?
Yep.
And everybody was really insulted. Just like they're insulted. How could you ask about Joe's cognitive ability, right? KJP says, you see what he does every day. You see all the legislation he does and all that great, wonderful stuff. And that record stands for itself. And me. He's hopped up. He was hopped up on the State of the Union address, and he's going to be hopped up tomorrow, boy. All right, so let's move on. Our tale of the tape number 3 and our big finale for the tale of the tape, preparation, right? So let's talk about diet. Well, I was talking about drugs before. Donald Trump is pounding down mounds of Diet Coke and McDonald's, right? That's probably the only drugs he's on, but that's his preparation as far as his diet is concerned.
That's the American diet, baby.
And Joe Biden, tapioca pudding, and I hear ice cream soothes him. Ice cream does, yeah. It does that with demencia patients, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it brings them back to their childhood. So good feelings, good times.
Yeah. So he'll probably be having some ice cream during his preparation sessions, as we'll be talking about here. So practice, right? What kind of practice has Donald Trump been doing? Well, he's been campaigning, right? That's how Donald Trump is practicing, just being candidate for president of the United States, as well as fighting off stupid, ridiculous lawsuits, which are unconstitutional. And exercise or practice, rather, for Joe Biden is standing for 90 minutes. That's right. Yeah, they actually admitted to that.
Yeah.
Which is, to me, embarrassing on the world stage that a man needs practice to stand up, right? At that point, he shouldn't be president, right? And back to the whole cognitive thing, right? If he wasn't able to bring charges against him because he was a doddering old fool, I don't think he should be president. Or if he can't find his way off the stage, or 100 other things for that matter.
Whoa.
I'm sorry.
Wow.
Right. Okay, I don't know. Oh, I lost some stuff.
You need to calm down, honey.
I lost some stuff, right? Anyway, I don't know. My graphic is messed up. I'll have to figure out why that is. Okay, studying? Yeah, no, Donald Trump's not studying. He's campaigning again. And what's Joe Biden studying? That's the early bird menu. That's right. So coaching, say what? Yeah, that's exactly what's happening. Donald Trump's like, I mean, I suppose, you got a few people, and I think he gets on and he listens to a few people. And he's going to listen to advice of some social media people, and I'm sure he's going to listen to my advice. Of course, he tunes into me all the time.
Yeah.
And I think that preparation. Hey, if Joe Biden's got to be out there for a whole week, he's going to be over prepared or something. I don't know, boy. But overall, I would say Donald Trump is much better prepped, and Joe Biden, not so much. Not so much at all. Oh, I know where they are. That's because my camera's in the wrong place. There you go. Oh, yes, coaching, overcoached. Yep, and
he's gonna get confused.
Yeah. Yep, and overall. Oh, there you go. My joke was, new depends. That's what he's gonna have. His new depends. He'll be prepared, boy. That's his preparedness, fully prepared. So right. Okay, so let's get right into this whole thing here. Let's delay no further and go into my newly modeled scene in which I have, you'll notice Donald Trump duking it out. I did that AI today. That was a lot of fun. And I don't know if anybody saw that really cool promo I did with the two of them boxing and Trump versus Biden. I thought that was pretty cool. Looks like we got a little chat activity, so hey to the chat, peace to you, and glad you're here helping us on our test stream. Let's
say hi to Papa. He's on.
Hey, Papa, what's up, bro? It's good to see you. Shout out, Papa. Good to have you. He is a loyal and faithful fan, both on Twitter and tuning in, watching our shows.
Yep.
We love him. I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to see you, Papa, while we were down in Florida.
But we will.
We will. We were kind of cash strapped. We were time strapped. We were just trying to figure out what was going on down with her parents, and the whole thing was great. I had a nice time, but it brought up all sorts of new things we have to deal with. So anyway, we'll see Pawpaw soon enough because we're moving to Florida, man. Yep, and we're starting a media company down there. TruthSlinger Project is heading to Florida, right?
Yep.
So let's tune in here and let's watch Maggie Haberman. She's going to tell us all about what about Biden and advice, debate what Biden needs to take on Trump, how he needs to do it, focus on his own accomplishments, which are what? Which are what? I mean, come on. they've got a whole list of false statistics that they throw out there, like how much unemployment has gone up, right?
They're telling him not to focus on his.
Oh, not to focus.
Not to focus on his.
I got studio lighting here. It's like I gotta look around it to see.
No, they're saying the opposite.
Oh, not to focus on his. Oh,
that's awful.
Well, now that makes sense. That makes sense, right? So what should he focus on? So he's going to focus on what? Negative campaigning and mudslinging. So now we're going to be talking about, he's a convicted felon, 34 counts. All right, well, let's find out instead of listening to me just blather on.
So a little before debate time, he gets a shot in the ass, and that's... They want to strengthen him up.
You got to love our president. He's
he comes out,
a comedian.
He'll come out... I say he'll come out all jacked up, right? All jacked up.
Yep.
New York Times senior political correspondent, best-selling Trump biographer Maggie Haberman joins me now.
Look at this woman, man.
I mean, obviously, he has no shame and he makes
looks...
stuff up, but it's very inconsistent. I mean, it's one moment he's a worthy debater, and then it's...
Come on now. Like, just
show that again.
Just,
I mean, was that her face
on.
because she saw Donald Trump and she was so disgusted by him?
Or
is she naturally like that?
This woman.
Political correspondent, best-selling.
Look at this. Look at that face, man. How many cats you think this lady has? How many? Like probably, I don't know, a dozen? My God, this woman is seething inside. Could you imagine spending like any time across a dinner table breaking bread with this woman? Suppose, I don't know whether you're, status of married or whatever, but imagine you went on a date and this woman showed up, right?
Oh, dear.
This woman just looks miserable, doesn't she?
I just leave.
This is what happens to people when they become victims. This is what you end up looking like, right? It's totally pathetic. All right, so let's move on. It's just that was noteworthy, I thought, though.
Trump biographer
What a
Maggie
miserable
Haberman
bitch.
joins me now. I mean, obviously, he has no shame and he makes stuff up. But it's very inconsistent. I mean, it's one moment he's a worthy debater, and then he's going to be doing massive amounts of cocaine.
Yeah, it's a microcosm of the Donald Trump and his team that we have seen over 9 years now, which is his team.
All right, now here I'm gonna say this because before she gets going too far, already because of the question at the beginning of the answer, I want to teach you how to watch things critically, right? Immediately they say, oh, well, he says in a serious interview over here, right? He says one thing, right? That, he's going to focus on this and he's concerned about the issues and he plays it straight. And they ask him about Hunter and his son, and he says, it's terrible for any family to go through this stuff, right? And then what happens? He goes into a rally, right? And he says, I'm going to hop him up on goofballs and Hunter's going to be high on cocaine and they're going to, right? He's leaving his gun all over the place. It's a rally, right? This is their inability, the left's inability to be able to understand that Donald Trump is a politician now, but as well, moreover than anything, he is the best comedian I know. He is a troll, he is a comedian, and he is trolling your ass to make you lose your mind and go, what is he? What is he? What is he? This is he, that is he, this is he mental? No, he's just messing with you. Okay, you do not understand the difference between humor and a time to be serious and have a serious talk. And that's what makes you a moron.
Oh. He wants him to do one thing, he does something else. And he sometimes can stick to the script, but then he goes off of it, which is why the way he does with sort of policy sessions as opposed to classic, behind the podium matches. But whether he is going to absorb what he's learning there and whether he is going to come in, interrupting President Biden less than he did in 2020 in their first debate, is
now you dumb, stupid, moron woman person on CNN who's running the debate, who's going to cut the mics after 2 minutes. How in the world is Donald Trump going to interrupt Joe Biden?
So those are going to be the moderators? No, it's going to be Jake Tapper?
Yeah, it's Jake Tapper. And so Jake Tapper is like getting coached right now from Maggie Haberman to go, how's Trump going to react? Well, how am I supposed to deal with this guy?
Is he the only moderator?
I think he is.
Oh.
I think he is. That's my understanding.
Okay.
open question because he does what he wants to do.
I just want to play something else he said at the rally over the weekend.
How should I handle him? Should I be tough and nasty? Or should I be, she say, no, should I be tough and nasty and just say you're the worst president in history? Or should I be nice and calm and let him speak?
I mean, do you think, does he sort of change in the moment, just riffing how he feels in the moment, or is it something he kind of thinks of as he's going to bed that night and just thinks in his head, doesn't tell anybody else?
I think sometimes he plays around with these things on his own. I think sometimes, as you see, he poll tests it because he thinks it's going to please whatever crowd he's in front of. Whatever's on his mind is often what he does with these crowds.
Yeah, okay, so what exactly is the wrong with asking a crowd of your supporters how they think that you should handle Donald Trump? Is that like a problem? I mean, they're making it sound as if it makes him this psychotic person that blows about in the winds of his own mind and delusions of grandeur.
Right.
When he's collecting information, he's collecting it from crowds. He wants to hear the people cheer, do this, do that, don't do this, right? Look, the crowds chanted lock her up. He didn't lock up Hillary Clinton, you morons. Now, at this point, I don't know what's going to happen now, right? But you know, these people, they're just so silly.
It could be anything. It could be, he's been poll testing everyone about VP at various fundraisers, and this is along the same lines. I was thinking, though, as he was saying that, I think
What's wrong with asking the base who we want for vice president? Like, I'm sorry, I just fail to see the problem. I really do.
They're awful.
They just want to just poo-poo caca on everything, right? Because, she's like Debbie Downer. Remember Debbie Downer on Saturday Night Live?
Yeah.
Feline AIDS. Right? It's really terrible.
he will be both. I think he will likely interrupt less because I think that's the main lesson he took from the last debate.
What about the cut mic? Why aren't you? Why didn't she say? I think he's going to interrupt less because his microphone's not going to be on.
Their first debate in 2020, and I think he will be very mean toward Biden. I will be very surprised if he is anything other than that.
I want to bring in CNN political commentators, Republican strategist Michael Singleton, also former Biden White House Communications Director Kate Bedingfield. First of all, Kate, what do you make of this new reporting from Kayla Tausche? In your view, should President Biden go on the attack rather than lean on his accomplishments?
Yeah, look, I think his primary task in this debate is to show people what the choice is. And that is, he's got to do that by driving aggressively at Trump, going at contrast, taking the conversation to the places where Trump is most vulnerable. We know that.
Yeah, okay, so I'm really curious to see what she's going to say those places of vulnerability are, right? They're going to take it to Trump. What? They're going to go, you're a convicted felon? Right? These are the What, you were a January 6th insurrectionist? They just invalidated the January 6th committee. That's the news. Did you hear this? Right? Didn't they just invalidate it?
Yep.
Which means the subpoenas for Steve Bannon, gone.
Yep.
Out of there. They wiped him out, right? So, I don't know. I'm just curious what she's going to say.
News. Yep.
It is good news.
That's abortion. We know that's January 6th and democracy.
Yeah,
so
see? Democracy.
God.
Democracy itself is at stake
what about
once
Afghanistan?
again.
Let's talk about Afghanistan.
Yeah, why don't we talk about that? Now, that's hopefully what Trump's going to do is talk about the embarrassing, $80 million worth of stuff that we left over there.
He absolutely needs to be
13
aggressive.
dead people.
I am not of the mindset that means he can't speak about his record in the debate. I mean, part of what he's trying to do is show people that he's done a good job in the first 4 years and he deserves 4 more. And so he can absolutely talk about the things he's done to get our economy to a better place than many thought it would be 4 years ago. But he's got to do it in a contrast frame. He's got to do it by saying...
And the thing is hopefully Donald Trump is able to shoot down, like all these numbers, the job numbers created that they keep bragging about. Mm-hmm. They happened because of the jobs that were lost because of the shutdowns and COVID.
Right.
And the lockdowns. So these are artificial numbers. And even, I don't know if you saw Janet Yellen, we tweeted about it today. She says, I don't know, people are saying about the grocery store prices. Yeah, I don't see it.
And she's being honest because I'm sure she doesn't do her own shopping.
Right, she does it. She sends down, right, she sends down Jeeves.
Okay, Jeeves. Oh, God.
Jeeves.
saying, Donald Trump's vision for the next 4 years would make things more expensive for you. And, he's really got to make
How is that? How is Donald Trump is going to make things more expensive for you?
sure that he's never just talking about his own accomplishment, but driving it to a choice, because that's really what he's trying to do in this debate, show people.
As you know, history shows for incumbent presidents.
I'm sorry, this guy is such a penis. I just really needed to say that.
It's very hard, usually in their first debate. Even President Obama, David Axelrod has talked about this, who knew that history, they still find it hard. And part of the reason is because often they do feel, they haven't had people pushing back in their faces for the last 4 years. And also they do feel like they want to talk about their accomplishments, even if those accomplishments may not be felt or perceived by large numbers of people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so if things are not felt or perceived by large numbers of people, then they're not real. Then they're just things that they did on paper to fund projects. I mean, where's all the infrastructure? We drove down to Florida. Bridges are falling apart. The roads in New York are a disaster, absolute disaster. And on top of that, we paid $60 in tolls on the way down and $60 on the way back. Right? And well, where's all this infrastructure stuff? All this stuff is all on paper. Their accomplishments are not felt by us.
Right.
And they're trying to tell you that inflation wasn't 1.9% when Donald Trump was in office.
Wow.
I mean, it's a natural instinct. You can understand. If you've been president of the United States for 4 years, you've been working hard, you've gotten things done, you feel like you want to make it.
Working hard. How many days? He's on vacation 40% of the time. How many times have we seen him sleeping at the beach? He's sleeping at international meetings.
Yeah.
Okay. Working hard, my ass. This man calls a lid at noon almost every day.
A case to the American
But how do you overcome that?
So
Look at this evil guy right here. My name is Chuck Schumer.
Oh, God. He does. He looks like Lurch.
If you would have seen him during this particular speech when Biden goes off the rail a couple of times, which he did, he's going, I mean, the guy is like Schmeagol. Okay? It's just creepy as hell. All of these people are creepy as hell. Not to mention, most of them are ancient, right? Except for all the retarded squad. But anyway, let's move on.
some of it is about prep. Some of it is about working through how you answer a question in a way that drives to the contrast you want and brings Trump in and doesn't just make it about reciting a laundry list of accomplishments that are important and meaningful, but may not feel in the moment like they're landing in people's lives. So it's really
in the moment, they're just not landing in people's lives. You know, all these
my
things.
God.
The Democrats are the party of trust us. Trust us. Don't believe what I mean. I know you don't feel it good, but you trust us. Your overall cost is down. Okay, because some person is on health care, Obamacare that I never qualified for. I wasn't able to. I don't know who these people are, but somebody somewhere disaffected from your life is got some mysterious benefit that they passed some law on. Really, trust them.
thinking about how do you answer a question in a way that brings it back around to Donald Trump and doesn't just leave you sort of saying, well, look what I've done and that's enough. Because it really is about a choice. And that's the theory the Biden campaign has had from the outset, right? That the way they win is by drawing this contrast, and that when
drawing
they
the
have Trump
contrast.
versus Biden.
We fell for this crap 4 years ago, where the contrast was, ooh, bombastic Trump, ooh, monster, ooh, big man, ah. All Mexicans are rapists, right? And oh my God, right? As soon as that thing in Charlottesville happened, right?
Oh boy.
Oh my God, right? All of a sudden, you know, and so and they've been demonizing him ever since over this stuff, and that's like all they have, right? They've been trying to destroy him. The entire media machine, everybody, everything has always been trying to destroy him. And this is, every day I wake up, don't you feeling more and more like, how in the hell do these people keep whistling in the dark like this and expecting people? I guess they're not buying it anymore. I guess I don't know how many people are going to watch this thing on CNN, but I mean, there's no other place to watch it, I guess. This was going to do something for their ratings, but their ratings are like 80,000 people on prime time in the main demographic. It's terrible.
Yep.
Because it's dribble like this, right? Is to expect us to believe that Donald Trump is an awful, evil human being, and Joe was that reasonable guy that just had to step into the race because of that damned evil racist, right? It's the same Democrat playing card, and the blacks are waking up. They are waking up.
Oh, definitely.
In comparison, Trump is unpalatable, and so he's got
Unpalatable. See,
For who?
they've spent, like, for who, right? Not half the country.
Right.
Right? Just you elite bastards. He's unpalatable.
to really stick to that in this debate.
Sure, Michael. I mean, Trump is even rustier.
And
He has not been in the arena.
Trump's rusty my ass. Shut up, you're an idiot. What's amazing is that these people are even sitting there going, well, what should Joe Biden be doing? You know, because we could discuss it and we'll figure it out. And then, hell, we could call over to the campaign because we talk to them all the time, you know.
Right.
And we'll call over there and we'll tell them, well, we think Joe should do this. Do you think Joe's going to remember what they fucking told him 2 seconds after he walks out the door?
Do you think he's got the questions?
Of course they've got the questions. What do you think? Tell us in the comment below. You think he's got the questions? I mean, remember the Donna Brazile thing? Remember that?
Yep.
Donna Brazile, that nasty old witch, and then they hired her at Fox.
For
Right, and then they got rid of her.
seconds.
Now she's over at MSNBC, lying bitch. It's a Christian woman. Oh, yeah. God, man, these people are just disgusting. All right, let's move on.
Really, for the last couple of years. And he's been he's been in arenas, but just in long, rambling soliloquies.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's been a while for the former president. It's been a while for the current president.
Okay, long, rambling soliloquy, right? If you listen to a Donald Trump rally, it's funny, it makes sense, it's coherent. He goes off on a rabbit trail, and guess what? He comes back because he knows where he left off. He's cognitively aware, but they keep making him sound like he's just this bumbling, rambling idiot. That man can open his mouth and talk straight for 2 minutes and make complete sense. Joe Biden cannot. So there.
I think it's important for both of these men, if I can take an objective analysis here,
Objective.
to really drive home what their plans are for immigration and for the economy. If I'm advising President Biden, I want to be contrite. I want to acknowledge that while things have improved, I get that for most people, you're not feeling those things materially. This is what I'm going to do. If given
Number
4 years.
three host acknowledges. Yeah, we're answering the same question. Yeah, and we know the fucking economy sucks. But, the people just don't feel how good the economy is.
Right.
If the economy's good, you don't have to tell us it's good.
Right. That's a good one, honey.
You don't.
If you're Donald Trump, you want to make a contrast from President Biden to say, look, he's been given 4 years. Things have not gotten better. Things have gotten
Right.
worse by some
I agree.
metrics. This is what I will do to improve your lot in life.
I agree.
Both gentlemen are going to have to wrestle, Anderson, I would argue, with trying to accomplish 2 different things if they're wanting to achieve some level of measurable success at the end of this debate.
But
Yeah,
Megan,
because the only thing they have is that they're going to go negative on Donald Trump, and Donald Trump is going to say, look, just stuff is what it is. He doesn't have to go negative. There's a difference. There's the negative result of the policies, and then there's, you're just such a jerk, and you're mean to people, and nobody in the world likes you, and NATO people are scared of you, and Jack Smith's going to get you.
that sounds, for rational candidates, yes, that makes sense. For what this debate could easily devolve into,
For rational candidates, all right. So one's irrational because he's just crazy, and the other one's irrational. He just say that Joe Biden is irrational?
No, I think he's saying Trump is irrational.
Yeah, but I think he said both candidates would be irrational.
Oh.
I just think he just said that.
Oh, good. Well,
for what this debate could easily devolve into, you don't hear a lot of policy from Donald Trump. I mean, that's just not what his thing is.
When you do hear it, it's in incredibly broad strokes, and mostly
Right.
what you hear is him condemning President Biden, and I expect that you will continue hearing that.
Yeah, like how about the border not be wide open? You don't. How much nuance do you have to have in close the effing border? They're pouring in. Nobody's checking them by the tens of thousands a month. Mm-hmm. And now we're up to millions, enough to change the entire demographic how much nuance and detail do you really want to say the border should be closed? and we should suspend. And I'm telling you, you watch, people. He's going to put forth policy. I guarantee you. He's going to say, I will shut down the border on day one. If he doesn't say that, I'll be shocked, right?
Trump?
Yes.
Of course he's
going to. What, you think that's not a policy
He's already
statement?
said it. Yeah.
Come on now.
I mean, I also think Trump is going to have a different set of arguments against him by President Biden than he has had in the past. What came up over and over and over again when President Trump was in office as president was questions about corruption, questions about investigations he was facing.
Oh, questions about corruption. Okay, shall we go back over that? The entire P-tape, the start of the thing, to get the circular media loop going, to get Donald Trump on the Russia collusion thing, right? And then impeachment one, okay, for asking about the corruption of Joe Biden in Ukraine that Joe Biden bragged about in front of an event at the I don't know where important places that people listen to other people about shit like this, right? And he goes, yeah, well, son of a bitch, I didn't tell him, hey, you're not going to get that loan money, if you don't, fire the prosecutor. Okay?
Son of a bitch.
Son of a bitch. 5 minutes later, he was fired. He bragged about it, but yet they impeached Donald Trump. This has all been made up. The whole Mar-a-Lago thing, every one of these indictments, these very timely indictments, all of this. These people are all liars, and they're filthy, dirty, rotten bastards that should rot in hell. Every one of these bitches on the CNN network that participates in this kind of crap, that suppressed the Hunter Biden laptop right before the election. Fuck these people.
References to the criminal case, and I'm sure that you will hear the current president talk about that. But I also think Jen O'Malley Dillon, the campaign manager for Joe Biden, or who's running the campaign, had a line with John Heilman in Puck this morning in an interview where she basically made clear that the contrast is going to be, I'm Joe Biden and I care about you, and Donald Trump only cares about himself and people like him.
Oh, okay, I love that line. I love that line.
Did he care about Lake and Riley?
Yeah, did he care about Lake and Riley? Or the 12-year-old that just got murdered the other day, right? Broad daylight, and was apparently raped for hours.
Yeah.
Like, I had trouble listening to the story.
Yeah.
There's not too many things I have trouble digesting. I had trouble with that one.
The judge literally tried to blame Trump.
Or what?
Press conference.
Or what about the 13 service members, the families that are furious because Joe Biden was looking at his watch while the service members that died on his watch because of stupidity, because of the way they pulled out of Afghanistan. He cares about you. Fuck you, lady. You lying bitch.
Him, and he's a rich guy contrast. And so I do think you are likely to hear the incumbent president deal with that. I don't know what you're going to hear Trump say.
I got to say again, Donald Trump is the only president in my lifetime that I ever called my president. You? What about you?
Yep.
What about you out there? What about you in the comments section, huh? Do you feel Donald Trump cares about people? You know how he does? They try to make him out this rich billionaire, doesn't care about people. That guy knows how to drive a Mack truck.
Yeah.
And so do his kids.
Yep.
And he goes down to the job site and he talks to all those people and they love him. Watch him. They go, oh, they hate him in New York. Watch every time he goes to New York. Have you ever seen him go to New York? Yeah. The cops are all over him. They flood him. They love him.
Yep.
Okay, they're manufacturing reality. And they're trying to manufacture your consent, as Noam Chomsky said way back when. These media, this is nothing but an arm of the Pravda, right? Our American equivalent of the Russian media.
In response.
Sure, Michael.
Taking questions from you and others, if you think about it. We had a great meeting just now in Philadelphia with the at the shop. So, but I'm preparing by dealing with you. You're tougher than all of them.
I mean, Michael, I don't think that's true. But if that is true, I mean, that's a gift to the Biden administration, obviously, because the softballs he gets from, people at set-up events are obvious.
I mean, look, it's different. Every candidate is different. When I worked for Mitt Romney, he had a very, very arduous debate prep.
Listen, I will sit down today and debate any atheist on the fly. I will debate a lot of people about a lot of things on the fly. As a matter of fact, that's why TNT Radio calls me about an hour to 2 hours before and says, man, we got an opening. Can you fill it? And I say, sure, I can. What are we talking about? Right? When you are a brilliant man like Donald Trump, you don't need all this time. Your life experience, right? I've been saying this. I've been ready out of season and in season. Donald Trump was ready to be president of the United States. How many times over the years he'd thought about it, he toyed with it, he played with it. He's wanted to be president for a long damn time. He's been thinking about this shit a long time, right? It's only you guys that are dealing with all this disastrous result of all your policies that are falling apart. It's a house of cards. You want to talk about a burning platform they're on. Every single plank is falling apart and on fire.
Process. I wasn't a part of that. I was still growing in my political career. But when I worked for Newt Gingrich, a great debater, really smart guy, deep into the policy stuff, Dr. Carson was very different. You
This
really
guy's
have
not
to sort of
bad,
prep
really.
candidates where they are, Anderson.
He's the only
based
reasonable
upon their
guy
strengths
there.
and weaknesses. I hope that the Trump campaign is focusing on that. But I want to say something here quickly to what Maggie was just saying. If President Biden spends a majority of his time talking about January 6th or talking about democracy or saying Donald Trump doesn't care about you,
Say it.
that does not provide an answer for what he's going to do for the next 4 years. If I'm a voter
Yes.
and I'm thinking I already have my opinions on Donald Trump,
what I
already have
said.
my opinions on Joe Biden, and all Joe Biden is talking about how terrible Trump is, but Trump is saying, okay, but the economy sucks under Joe Biden, but immigration is a problem under Joe Biden, but the world is on fire because of multiple foreign conflicts with aggressions from China, with aggressions from
Pretty
Russia
much.
under Joe Biden.
Yep.
That is a very, very clear contrast. I get bringing up the point maybe once or twice, but if I'm Biden, I'm talking about what I'm going to do for the next 4 years while understanding where people currently are. To do the alternative would be a drastic mistake, in my opinion.
I would have to say, bravo, sir. Was that not good? Boy,
That was pretty good.
that was pretty damn good.
Yep.
That was pretty good. And you know what? That's pretty brave, I guess, of CNN letting them on. But, you know, they've been doing that lately. They get people on there. And like the pollster they got over there,
Frank-
freaking out. No, not Frank Luntz. Frank, the drunk old asshole.
The CNN.
The CNN pollster. Yeah, he's like, yeah, I've never seen anything like this. The black people are leaving the Democratic Party in droves. And I mean, he's losing his mind. And, you know, the other people are like going, oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah. So, yeah, CNN's having a rough time.
Kate, I mean, President Biden does sometimes get tripped up when, I mean, I think he has natural inclination to go into details on policy, details on things other legislation he has passed in his.
Yeah, and then until he starts going, anyway.
His long storied career. And that can get tripped up. And when you're facing somebody who doesn't need to go into any details on any policies, I mean, he used to have a policy when he was first running.
What do you mean he doesn't need to go into any policies, whatever? If he wants to win the debate, he will.
Right.
I mean, what is this? I mean, the speculation is just so stupid.
About going to Iraq and taking their oil and surrounding the oil fields with soldiers and just sucking all the oil out. I mean, it made no sense, but how do you?
What do you mean it
Well,
made
some of
no
the-
damn sense? What do you mean when those people take those resources to go attack stuff? To not go in there and go, yeah, you know, not so much no more because you don't use the dollars for the right things. Yeah, so, you know, I'm not quite sure that's 100% the right thing, but you know what? There's room to talk about it because I'll tell you, the way things have been going, man, foreign policy was kind of screwed up for a whole long time until Donald Trump became president. And then, yeah, aside from like one or two drone strikes on Syria, you know, over cake with Xi Jinping, that was classy. So how's your cake? Yeah. Oh, by the way, yeah, we're bombing the shit out of Syria. You know, but he didn't start. He didn't start any wars. No. But look at what we've done under the Biden administration.
That I think is part of what they're trying to do here is illustrate that Trump is not fit to return to the Oval Office. So I don't believe you do that by having an extensive policy debate back and forth. I don't think that that's where most of the audience is going to be focused. I think that takes you down.
So don't do an extensive policy debate back and forth, right? So what's her position? Like I said, Trump bad?
They don't want to talk about policy because his policies
suck.
Ew.
polls that sort of feels disconnected from people's lives. We could talk about what that means about the state of politics, but I think that that's true. So, for Biden, I think really pushing to hold Trump accountable on the things that we know are some of his biggest political vulnerabilities, but also forcing him, sort of to Shermichael's point, sort of forcing him to talk about what are you going to do for the next 4 years? What are you going to do to help people across this country? And really taking it to the offensive rather than spending all of that time sort of on the defensive.
Right, great. And you know what? You don't think that he's going to be prepared to deal with these things? Here's going to be Donald Trump right now. Come on, right now, Donald Trump like this. That's what's going to happen when Donald Trump gets up there.
The problem with that, though, is that Trump has been president before. And so for whatever reason, and there's a lot of debates as to why, a big factor.
Yeah, he has been president before, which tells you when you go, he's Hitler. If he gets to be president, he's going to be an authoritarian monster. He's going to destroy democracy. He left. He was president. The world didn't end, and he left. Right? So there's the problem with your narrative. It's stupid.
It seems to be the post-COVID period. There are a lot of people who feel like their lives were last good in 2019, and Trump happened to be president then. And so Biden is not facing a tabula rasa. He's facing somebody who has a
absolutely
record.
not. But I also think that's part of Biden's task is to remind people of the things that they disliked about Trump. The most outrageous immigration language. The things that were off-putting to people.
Americans are now sharing their predictions ahead of the highly...
Stop, Kayleigh McEnany. Well, gosh, man, I'm more stupid for having watched that. I think we're all less intelligent, are we not, from having spent time watching, thinking about, digesting all of that stuff, right?
That was ugly.
Yeah, that was bad, right? Let me see. Yeah. All right.
What are you doing?
There we go. Yeah, I was just checking something out. Beam me up, Scotty, right? Energize.
That's pretty cool. Hey.
I don't know. I haven't played with the soundboard in a long time, so I just wanted to. I think I will. I'll rearrange it for tomorrow night. Get a couple of sounds in there. I'll try not to be too annoying. But anyway. So... this is going to be fascinating, don't you think? This is going to be crazy.
Oh,
I
wait.
don't have any idea how this is going to work out, kids. But I think that people are going to be more disciplined, or Donald Trump's going to be more disciplined than people imagine. He's been running a more disciplined campaign.
Yes.
And the reason they're losing their mind still is because they, like I said, they don't understand jokes, and so they can't. The left doesn't understand jokes, and they can't meme worth a shit. Right. They can't. And so that's one of the big advantages we have on social media. And I think Donald Trump's doing a great job on social media. I think he's hitting on all cylinders. I think he's got a new campaign team. And I think he's going to come out and swinging. I think he's going to be controlled. And I think they forced that control on him. I tell you, I think cutting the mic was one of the stupidest things they ever did. Because number one, it screams right out front, they're trying to control the conversation, right? And they're trying to control the debate. And now you force Donald Trump, instead of trying to interrupt Joe Biden, because he's not going to scream over a dead mic. He's just not going to. And he's certainly not going to walk over there and go to Joe Biden. So, they forced him to be more disciplined. These people, but that's what they do. They're stupid. They don't understand. And the fact that there's no audience, right? I hope you enjoyed our intro, man. I really enjoyed making that. We figured since there was going to be no audience, we thought we would put one in.
Can you play it again on the way out?
Can I play it again? Yeah, I'll play it again on the way out. So, yeah. So, yeah, we can't wait. It's been fun. We've been going almost an hour now. I don't know. Did you check out any stats? Do we have good comments and people yakking away, or people enjoy it or anything? Or we wasted our time?
Awful.
Or I need to, before I log off here, I'm going to, since I'm full screen, I'm going to go over here and see if I can.
The anticipated face-off between...
Stop. I want to go see about Rumble. And see if I'm streaming on Rumble. Where are we? I don't know. I don't remember what window. I got so many windows open, right? There it is. Rumble live streams.
You don't have window discipline?
No, no, I don't.
Okay.
Oh wow, the preview show. It says live commentary. Da 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 da. It's up there. Date 1 minute visibility public. Raw views 0. Unique views 0.
Oh.
1 minute. I don't know. We'll see what happened to that.
They're so popular
I
on
keep
Rumble.
trying with Rumble, and I don't know. It's just not working. But we'll see what happens after I log off. Maybe it'll save itself, and there'll be something to see over on Rumble, and maybe people were watching. I don't know. But I don't know. I think that's going to be about it. I'm hot, sweaty. It was hot here today. And I know we're moving to Florida, but at least there'll be a pool there and there'll be air conditioning. We in Maine don't have air conditioning, so there's like a 4 or 5 days a year, maybe 10, that we get where we're like all sweaty and stuff. So I just have to take a cool shower, hose myself down like a dog. And so, yeah, we're just going to wrap it up and call it a night and book the show. I think it was a great test show. I think it was fun going over this stuff. We're glad that if you stayed with us, like, subscribe, share, follow, do all that stuff. You know what to do. Support us if you can, in any way you can, all the way from monetarily to just telling all your friends about us. And let people know about tomorrow night, because, boy, I expect a fire show. And I expect to get a lot of content out of this for later, right? All sorts of shorts. Can you imagine the material we're going to get out of this live stream? It's going to be a scream. Yep. So you want to be here tomorrow with us tomorrow night. And that's it. We love you. We thanks for watching. We enjoy it. It's much more fun for us to do this stuff when we know actually somebody out there's watching and conversing with us. And so if you spent the evening with us, we really enjoyed it. I am TruthSlinger, and we are out of here. And I'm going to play this one more time. See you guys later. From the heartland of America, the most anticipated presidential debate in history. Let's get ready to rumble!
That's so good.
I love it, man. I had so much fun doing that today. It's great. We really enjoyed all you folks staying with us tonight. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. TruthSlinger, Hippie Chick, we're out of here. Moo.